I was dropping mixtapes in high school. You feel
Yeah.
me? We had the whole clique of FYB in high school. Like, we knew we was gonna be here one day. You know, we kept God first and just kept pushing.
Can't go shopping actually.
So-
Y'all went shopping.
Jacquees said you ain't invite me.
He don't never want to go shopping with me, boy.
Need to she be like, man, you need to let me shop for you.
You be looking good, but sis, give it up. I wouldn't
Put
be
me
upset
down.
at that.
I be trying to.
She
He's
ain't trying to
scared to
put
go
me down.
shopping.
He's scared to go shopping.
It's Lauren LaRosa. I'm here, BET Talks, and today joining me, I have a dynamic duo. I'm talking Batman, Robin. Whenever these two link up, it's crazy. So I'm excited to get into the conversation today. Jacquees Dej Loaf, welcome to BET Talks.
What's up?
How y'all feeling?
Feeling real good.
It's cold in New York, right?
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, y'all snuggled. Like, you snuggled in your jacket. You got
Yeah.
your hoodie on.
Yeah, it's
I'm
cold
over
out
here
here.
shivering. I want to play a game. This game is called This or That. And I'm going to name some things, and you guys will just choose this or that. Detroit or Atlanta?
Atlanta.
Detroit.
Oh, that was easy. Y'all, yeah, okay, so I know that's where you guys
Well,
are from.
I lived in his town. I lived in Atlanta. So you haven't really lived in my city in
Nah.
How long were you in Atlanta for?
about 5-6 years. You know, I came straight from Detroit to Atlanta. So
What was one thing that you took away from your experience living there that you're like, I couldn't have learned this anywhere else but living in Atlanta at that time in my life?
independency, I guess. Just kind of doing things on your own. Just getting your feet wet. Just being grown, I guess.
Now, what about 106 in Park versus Rap City?
Probably 106. I love Rap City though. You need
I
both.
gotta go 106 though.
And you guys have Bow Wow in the opening of your video, and he's like in a talk show set, and it gave me that like vintage 106 in Park when he was Mr. 106 in Park. Did y'all do that on purpose as
Facts.
well too?
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Now, hip hop versus R&B.
both hip hop and R&B.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of came in as a rapper. He's R&B. I just, expanded my sound in a lot of ways. I always had a, certain voice, and just I tried things.
Did you already know how you wanted your sound to be, like, because it was such a unique sound to you, or was it something you developed as you were making music?
Yeah, it developed over time. I feel like I knew this is what I wanted to sound like. Eventually, it was gonna, come to this. So yeah.
What about making an album versus making a mixtape? Because you guys also have like legendary mixtape stuff.
Well, even back then, the difference between making a mixtape and making an album was a mixtape was kind of like a tester. You ain't got to think too hard. You could put it out and just see what's happening. With an album, you really got to have all your T's crossed. You know what I'm saying? You really got to know, like, okay, do I want to spend money on this beat? And even when creating, honestly, sometimes other artists, we tend to overthink when it's time to create an album because we like, this gonna be the album. Like, now we try to create, like, I'm gonna just create like it's a mixtape.
Right.
To try to get that same feeling back.
FA Friend Zone 1, now FA Friend Zone 2. The old stuff is golden. And a lot of times once it works and it goes so well, people leave things alone. But I think people have been asking for you guys to get back together and do more music. What prompted the link up? Was it that people were asking for, or were you guys like, yo, I want to get back in that bag and feel that nostalgia?
So I think it was like a thing of us knowing that it worked, and it's like the fans like it, and it was just a moment in time, like you say, that just felt real good. The music in that time period was different as a whole. We trying to do that same thing again. I know we think and know really that these records, sticking.
Now, I was listening to some of the music, and I heard samples. So I have 3 written down here, and you said 1. So Backdoor, Get It Together.
Somebody get it together.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the word.
I don't know if that's the Backdoor sample. I don't know if that's
No, okay, so that ear was off. Everybody knows Shantae's Got a Man, the sample by Shantae Moore.
No, I think it was the melody of that, but it wasn't the
Sometimes you might
the
think it's a
beat.
sample and it'd be like I forgot the proper producer terminology for it.
Got you.
No, but it was just the melody. Shantae's Got
Yeah.
a Man. So it's like kind of that vibe, Everybody knows.
Jacquees, you trying to remember the song?
I was trying to remember what the proper definition, proper term was. Interpolation. That's what they call it.
Can you explain to me, us regular folk, what that
It's
means?
like, if this is kind of like this, almost like, oh, this is not a sample, this is an interpolation.
Got you. And then my third one was Somebody Else. To me, that sounded like Rocking That Thing by The Dream.
Oh, I know what part you're talking about.
Yeah.
She talking about in that, when it be like before, yeah.
Yeah. Because I was like, what is
And that
that?
little deep blue.
But
But
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. Shout out to the Dream Kids. They gonna have all. They
Yeah,
gonna
they
have
be
all
the
that behind the
producers though,
scenes.
man.
The producers.
Yeah, but they don't really sample too much.
We ain't trying to sample because we ain't trying to pay. Basically.
Got you.
I'm just.
But also, we sampled. We did
Heard you.
sample our own song on the new one.
Yeah, we did. We sampled "You Belong to Somebody Else" on "You Still Belong to Somebody Else," which is part 2.
Yeah.
So that was super dope for us to like sample one of our own records. You know, we can pay ourselves.
On the first F Friend Zone, you guys had Met Her in the Club.
Yeah.
And that was like the party record. That still goes, by the way. I played that Get
Thanks.
Ready for This
Thank
a lot
you.
of times.
Thank you.
But on this, it's like there isn't really like a party record, even though there's like upbeat melodic stuff. Was that purposely done? Because I feel the age difference between Volume 1 and Volume 2. This is more we grown now. It might be wine and chill.
It's definitely lit. But I would say if I had to choose a party record, I would probably just say
Mocktails.
favorite one.
Yeah, that's the closest to it.
Yeah, that would be
favorite
my
one.
record that I would say feels like, okay, it's time to party.
I say Bad for Me. That's
Oh
one.
yeah, that could be one. But I was gonna say different settings in the club. You know, the club vibe changed a little bit.
Yeah.
So you know, we got records on that definitely for when the energy changing in the club. And I feel like if the club was on fire, like at the end of the night when they usually playing the bangers, I think that'll kind of slide right in.
Jacquees, I know you have FYB Records.
Yeah.
Right? And this is the first release off of FYB Records, correct?
It is the first big official drop. Shout out to Empire.
How does that feel?
It feels amazing. You know, I just can't wait to get the CD and look at the back of the CD and see my imprint in there that we started in high school. Shout out to Issa, man. And so for it to be like now, you know, on like albums and all of that, it's a dream come true.
In high school, you kind of just like figuring things out. Was this always like, I'm going to do this now because later down the line, I want to put out my own music. I want to have artists. Did you always think like that? Or
Yeah,
did you
I
just
always
do
thought
it?
like that. Like I was dropping mixtapes in high school. You feel
Yeah.
me? We had the whole clique of FYB in high school. Like we knew we was gonna be here one day. You know, we kept God first and just kept pushing.
Love that for you. Now, Dej, I'm a fashion girly. How do you pick and choose what the aesthetic and what the look is?
It definitely depends on what we got going. If we want to go hard, you know, we think it out a little bit. But naturally, just you know, what's the saying?
It's just in you.
It's in you. You know what I'm saying? So you know, you wake up, you can get fly in anything. You know, it's just hereditary. I feel like it's just one of them things you just fly. It's not even about what you got on. You know. It's luckily you can put it on, but you know, you fly. And then I do work with a few people sometimes, and you know, they put in the work to make sure I'm fly. They know what I like. They know how to put it together too. So I appreciate that because I got tired of shopping too. You don't have time, you know, you busy. I like to do other things too. So we just came from shopping actually.
So,
Y'all went shopping?
Jacquees said you ain't invite me.
Why you
That's
think
crazy.
he don't never want to go shopping with me, boy?
Why?
That's the thing.
Now it's like you spinning it and he like, dang, you feel like you gotta match the energy or you
Nah,
like,
I
I'm ready
just
to go
wanted to
home.
go. I wanted to
you
go
gotta
spend some
buy
of this money
some.
too.
You want to spend her new money?
My new money.
Oh, your
Our
new money. Our new money. See, joint project, Batman Robin. I see what
New
you're
money.
doing here. Now, when you are shopping, Jacquees, because I mean, you give the looks as well too. When you shop,
You did.
Oh.
Couple time.
okay.
You did.
When you do shop, what do you feel like is like your go-to for like your stage stuff? Because I know one of the big things that has been conversation with you is just like your stage presence. Are you involved in that creatively,
Yeah.
or is it just okay?
Even with my stylist aside, my brother, he in here somewhere. Who you said you like
The
his
jacket, yeah, jacket
Yeah,
fire.
that's my brother's side. He my stylist. I really just tell bro what I'm feeling. You know, we all got our own styles. Like our stylists, I feel like just enhance it. I just tell bro what I'm trying to do, and he kind of like put it together. So when you see me with all that other stuff on, like my boy really had something to do with it.
Stage outfits and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when I have to turn into like, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
different levels. Sometimes you gotta go superstar. Sometimes
Yeah.
you gotta go chill fit.
Today I'm going dope boy Gucci.
Okay, I heard
You know what I'm
you.
saying?
All right.
Just look
This-
clean,
this-
like F a friend zone vibes. Take it
Tim's
back.
because you in New York, or
Of
you do
course,
these in Atlanta
because
too?
I'm in New York.
Oh, okay, heard you.
Yeah, I had to go to New York.
Do y'all do it be
Okay.
like a battle off of the fits? Like when y'all pulling up somewhere together?
Nah, but she always tell me she need to like. She be like, man, you need to let me shop for you.
That's what I
let me
say.
put
He
it
don't like to
together.
go shopping. That's why I
you
said.
be looking good, but sis, give it up. I wouldn't
Put
be
me
upset
down.
at that.
I be trying to.
She
He's
ain't trying to
scared to
put
go
me down.
shopping.
He's scared to go shopping.
Scared to go shopping.
Y'all might have to set a budget
We
first so
went
that he's.
shopping before though, a couple
Yeah.
times.
I don't know. Can guys do low high though?
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
I feel like guys can't really do
What
too
kind
much
of socks you
low-high.
got on? Right now?
Socks,
No, we're talking about t-shirt from
matter.
Zara. My fit from Gucci. That's a low high.
but the t-shirt is like you get a t-shirt from the corner store.
But
I
some
mean, like
folks
the
be
jeans.
spending $80 on their t-shirt. Well, this t-shirt was about 40.
Okay. The reason why I asked that is because, like, you guys, when you do your projects and I'm listening to the music, I can almost picture, like, what it would look like too scenic-wise. Early days when you guys started working together, like, did you guys start actually trying to lean into that more?
I think now we starting to like
do videos,
put
so
it
we
together
gotta make sure it looks like, okay, we can't just be red and he got on this. And it was times where we just kind of had the same things on, like, just unknowingly too, like I ain't seen them and we just pop up with the same type of fit on.
How has things changed the way you market part 2 versus when part 1 dropped? Because I feel like part 1 was like organic.
Part 1 was no marketing.
Yeah, like you dropped the song. I remember hearing Met Her in the club and it was just like, whoa, okay. Yeah. And then now 2, it's like I see you guys on the press run, you're pushing it. Like, what's the difference?
I mean, I would say the difference is this is an album. So, you know, with albums you do press runs. You know what I'm saying? For that, it was a mixtape. It was for the streets. Like, this is like real business.
Yeah.
You know, didn't nothing go into that but me and Dej putting energy into the studio and somebody paying for studio time.
Right.
You know, we just put it out. We didn't have to call everybody and tell them we were dropping it. People was excited to have a song drop and be like, dang, y'all used our beat. This is like real business behind the music.
You kind of grew up in front of us through the music and through the business, and you're here with your own label, and you guys are aesthetically creative directors and figuring out all these things that a lot of artists don't even take the time to think about sometimes, and it shows. So I hope you guys are feeling that, you know, the progression is there. Do you feel it?
Well, yeah, we do. We work hard too. We be in a big group text trying to get everything together like every day. So we definitely care about it. You know, we want it to be as big as it can be because, you know, this is something that we always had. It's something that we always wanted to get back around to.
I'm excited to see what grows from here, especially when you guys get on tour.
Sure.
And I'm a fan, if you guys cannot tell. I love when y'all link up and do these things. Thank you for joining us. All right, y'all. This is Lauren LaRosa, BET Talks. I'm here with Jacquees Dej Loaf. Make sure y'all go listen. Part 2 at the Friend Zone.